So shout out to the Unapologetically Biracial and Proud Facebook page. They actually left a post in my Mulatto community group, and it was very interesting. And I let them know that I wanted to actually talk about this because I think this is a very worthy topic to talk about. Very interesting. So let's check this out. And reading her post, she puts, "This is why they push so hard to call us, quote unquote, black." She's saying us because she's speaking as a female. It's a female led page. And so she's giving us the mulatto perspective. And she puts here, "Let me explain. Every other black male content creator fantasizes over and has biracial, MGM, and Latina women all over their pages. It's so common. It's funny. Shout out to Michigan Mulatto. Like, he did a video recently and he was talking about how you have these kind of FBA pro-black grifters like Tariq Fradsheed and the Phil Advice Show. You notice with Tariq Fradsheed, his wife is mulatto, and yet he's so pro-black, right? He couldn't marry a black woman. And then also you have Philip Scott, the Phil Advice Show. He's so pro-black, but yet his wife is like a white Mexican. But both of those guys, Tariq Nasheed and Philip Scott, they're basically trying to slander Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels is kind of this manosphere, red pill adjacent conservative, quote unquote conservative content creator who critiques a lot of black culture, black American culture, let's be specific. And, the FBA grifters, they call him, all the typical slurs, right? But the thing is, Anton Daniels, from my understanding, he's married to a black female, So he's married to a black female, but they want to call him all these slurs and, discredit him. But yet Philip Scott and Tariq Nasheed, they can't even marry a black female. That's the irony and hypocrisy of all of it. So getting back to this post, she puts, very rarely do they have black women on their pages, right? Just like their idol, Kendrick Lamar, he's got a mulatto baby mama, not a black one, right? So make that make sense. Most of their posts showcase mixed race women in some way, whether it's a fake skit, an interview with some quote unquote random person, a meme, a quote unquote hot chick pic, or a video of their favorite female entertainers. In most 75% of cases, the woman will be biracial, MGM, or Latina. The other 25% is made up of black, white, and Asian women. Yet most biracial women don't even marry black men. Now, this is her observation based off the numbers she's talking about, like 75% cases. Like, she's just general observations of the posts she sees. I mean, I would tend to agree. I don't know if it's that drastic, 75%, where they're showcasing biracial women. I would just say they push so hard to claim the women, the mulatto women, as black because they know it's a way to conquer the males if they can have easier access and influence the female. So, and that's really what it's always been about, is because they don't want to go back to where it was the mulattoes who were on top and the leaders of their group. They want to maintain the status quo where these mulattoes are kind of stuck and confused, begging for acceptance. So, and then continuing on with her post, she puts, "The black man's obsession with mixed race women is one of the most powerful mechanics of keeping the one drop rule alive." Yes, and that's primarily it. Because like they're going to look at Drake and say, well, Drake is a white mom. He was raised in Canada, so he's not black. But he has a black American father who he spent time with, like pretty much all the time as a kid. There's a video footage of him singing and rapping with Lauryn Hill songs or the Fuji songs or whatever. So he grew up like with black American culture, but they're trying to pull his black card, take it from him. You see how they do that with the males, but with the women, they don't do that. They always grant access, and that is the powerful mechanism. They have been trained to believe black women are ugly and biracial GRIF and MGM women are prettier and closer to the white prize or the white standard of beauty. Yeah. The thing is, that's very accurate, her analysis, because I'm a 90s baby. So even for me growing up, you had women like Mariah Carey, where she was at the forefront of like the R&B genre at that time period. Mariah Carey was a big deal. And, later on you had like Brandy kind of come in, and then, Beyonce, and like who else was, the other R&B artists. But Mariah Carey starting out in the 90s was like very popular. That was it. I was like, how is she surrounded by all these dark skinned people and they're kind of propping her up? And yeah, she's talented, but at the same time, it's like she doesn't look like any of you guys. She doesn't look like any of you people. Like, but you claim her to be a part of your group, well, because she's a female. Like, I've matured enough. We get it now. We're analyzing their behavioral patterns and their rhetoric and strategy. It makes perfect sense. Why they pick and choose who gets to be a part of their group based off if it's advantageous to them, if they can have some influence over you. If we can effectively eliminate black men's obsession over mixed women, we may be able to eliminate a substantial percentage of one dropping. Yeah, good luck though. I mean, that's, I don't know if you're going to effectively eliminate, but this is her word. She's just, basically suggesting you can eliminate the obsession over mixed women. I mean, yeah. This would be a very hard task though. Yeah. Possibly impossible. Possibly impossible. Yeah. For the one dropping, it's the men and the women who got to be firm that they're not black. They don't identify as black. And what the response is going to be to you is, well, my white massa, quote unquote, the police, they going to remind you black when they pull you over, right? They're going to result to the scare tactics. They try to like make you, to frame it that, well, they're white masses. The police are going to come around and put you in check, put you in your place, which they love. They love the arrangement. They love they massa, right? They just hate you and envy you because you're closer to them than they ever will be, right? That's why they want to mix with you. And so continuing on, she puts, let me be clear. I don't care that black men like us, but it's more so their obsession and control they have over us, where they think they own us and that we are, quote unquote, their women, which is the one drop crap on their mind. Yeah. And there is that sick obsession. And I've stated that as well. Like I've noted that observation from the beginning when I've been making this content, where it's like, they literally have this mindset of like they kind of own you, ownership. When I say that, it's because it's to a degree where they see a mulatto woman who chooses a white partner like a Sage Steele, like a Halle Berry, like a Doja Cat. These are all mulatto females. And these are prominent, talented, beautiful mulatto women. When they see those women with a white partner, the males, the black males, they try to shame those women and call them tragic mulattas, or they're confused. And these are all broken, dusty sucker dudes. These are dudes who will never be as successful as those women. It's like, how are these tragic black males trying to attempt to call the mulatto woman tragic because she didn't choose their black rear end? You see that? And that's not anti-black pointing it out. That's a fact that we can all observe analyzing social media. That's why you guys are navigating towards my channel. But that's a tactic they'll use, the shaming tactic. To try to gain control over the women, they'll try to shame them. Be like, you're a tragic mulatta. You said some anti-black stuff. You just got to turn it back on them and point the finger and be like, well, wait a second. You've said some anti-mulatto stuff. How about it's time we correct you for that? Right? But yeah, there is definitely that kind of control mechanism where they think they own them, pulling that one drop rule. And then when the woman, the mulatta, doesn't prefer them, chooses somebody else, all of a sudden, they're going to call them tragic mulatto. Yeah, I've been noticing that for a while. So continuing on with her post, she puts, I don't have an answer for this, just an observation. Let me also add that I'm not against us dating black men if the black man is right for you and not a one-dropper or an obsessive person. We should date whomever we want. If white men were known to force a white identity on us out of obsession and fetishization, then I'd be the same way about them. She finishes that off, her post, her commentary, and she makes an excellent point where I don't ever see white men try to pull that white identity and obsession and fetishization. I really don't. They don't do it. You guys know it's true. They don't. They do not. You look all over social media everywhere. They're not trying to force her to be white. They'll try to trick and lie and say, this is my black partner. It's like, bro, you married a biracial woman. You have a mulatto partner, bro. Like if Tom Holland walks around with Zendaya, like, this is my black queen, this is the black wife effect. Bro, your wife is mulatta. So they'll try to force the black identity on the mixed race person, the person who's clearly half European. So yeah, but they're never going to force the white identity on them. Yeah, it's only the other way around, where they want to force that black identity on the mulatta because then they can easily control her. Interesting post, interesting observation. The lady, unapologetically biracial and proud, shared. You guys can see the post here where he puts, men, don't let that $20 sundress cost you $50,000 in child support. So it's just right away like sexual. That's the fetishization. the sexualization. Just looking at the woman in this dress. Don't let this dress make it to where you pay 50,000 in child support. And it's like a joke. It's not even a funny joke. It's kind of a sleazy joke. But it's the fetishization, number one. It's also the bastardization, number two. That's the main component here that I obviously talk about a lot. The bastardization. Notice how he's going to child support right away, because they're doing that with their own groups of women in their own community. So they want to do with other groups too. Like, this is what you're seeing. He right away, like as a joke, child support. Don't you want to take care of this woman, provide for her and the family? Why do you resort to child support? Why do they jump to that extreme? That's like the worst case scenario, that you're forced to pay a monthly payment and you probably don't even see your kid that often, or you become a deadbeat. And they laugh about it like it's a joke. We don't want that for our group and our community and our people. We do not want that continued bastardization. We don't want that. What do you guys think about this? Post some comments. Let's talk about it. Peace.